All right, some last advice and maybe my own best practices for you. First of all, if you meet, especially with a group, try meeting in Zoom or Skype, something that's a little easier than Jacktrip. Meet there, set up your, choose a sample rate and the buffer size, and then try connecting to somebody. And once that connection is established, you can mute yourselves in Zoom or Skype, use the video feed of those other programs. If you have troubles or problems connecting, look at your QJack controls messages window and look at your terminal window and see if you can get any information from there. Classic, but often forgotten. If something doesn't work, restart your machine and boot it back up, especially if you have server-client connection problems and you just can't solve it any other way. That sometimes helps. If you're experiencing problems with connecting to a server, try temporarily turning off your firewall on your local machine, on your MacBook. There is usually additional security provided by your router or modem, but if you want to make sure, don't forget to turn your firewall back on after Jacktrip. 2 things I would recommend to you not to use. Number 1 is don't use a virtual private network. VPNs tend to not work with Jacktrip and then it crashes. And also, do not use a Ethernet over power adapter. Those tend to add latency to Jacktrip and sometimes don't work at all. About port forwarding, what I like to check is whether once you're in the settings of port forwarding, if you have really set them up to your local machine. Imagine there are multiple machines in the network, everyone's connected via Wi-Fi or Ethernet, and the port forwarding you do is specific to your computer. If you can't get it to work, maybe double check the settings and see if it's really your personal MacBook that is allowed the port forwarding in your router settings. Lastly, I haven't covered this yet, but it is possible to record what you play via Jacktrip into your DAW, into your digital audio workstation, or even use effects in your digital audio workstation and send them out to Jacktrip. So for example, if I played the guitar and I wanted a reverb or an amp simulation, I could just use my DAW and have my DAW access my guitar input, put some effects on that channel in my DAW, and output it to Jacktrip. However, that is a little bit of a complicated process, and I would say maybe not yet, maybe get familiar with how to route Jacktrip in general, and then later on, if you're interested, I could make a tutorial on how to do that as well. I put a lot of documentation below this video because people have helped me so much and really got me up to speed in the last 4 months, and I'm just kind of giving you the knowledge that I got from all of them. It's really been a group project, and there are a lot of resources about Jacktrip out there written by wonderful people. I thought that videos are a great way to kind of show you stuff as I'm working on them and explain it at the same time. In general, I really appreciate your feedback. I would love to know, what might be unclear still, what I could work on, and maybe I'll eventually release some troubleshooting videos too, if there is any demand. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and let me know how it goes. Thanks.